Opening day tomorrow, Whataburger opening day. We got Michael Young at 10:40, Ian Kinsler at 11 o'clock, and Derek Holland will be doing the show with us all live from the stadium.
Hopefully some Whataburger, too. That
makes sense.
I'm going to reach out to Whataburger and see if we can make some of that happen. Whataburger, some Hurtado.
Oh, my gosh.
Just have a big old feast over there.
Yes, I would love all of that.
You're
so,
listening, anybody?
what I asked for y'all is give me one bold, specific take for the 2025 Rangers season. Because I think we'll get into, like, hey, what's their record going to be and all that stuff tomorrow. And early on, man, people are going pretty bold. From the 2-1-4, the Rangers will have 33 blown saves this season to match 2023.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
But they won a World Series with 33.
You know, it's really funny that you say that because I want to be like, obviously that will doom your season. But obviously it will not doom your season. Historically, no team with that many blown saves had ever won 70 games or more.
I was just informed the Whataburger drop is in the works right now.
Oh,
so we are working
my
on that.
goodness. Let's
Love
go.
Whataburger. Love it so much.
From the 817, Wyatt Langford will be a top 3 MVP candidate. And from the 972, Corey Seager will play a full, healthy season.
Dan, that is bold. Just
that
because
is very bold.
This is just with the typical. Even he's already a little bit with the calf right now. There's already a little bit of concern on that. So, but that is a very bold one, Kevin. Here's my bold statement about the Rangers season. Adolis Garcia hits 40-plus home runs this year.
Whoa.
Now, this is. I really have nothing to back this up that's going to make me feel this is hopeful.
That's why it's a bold prediction.
Kevin, you were going through earlier and talking about how they had been working on shortening his swing up a little bit and everything. But if you watched yesterday, his stance was different than it had been prior. And he's back to his old stance.
Because I think they felt like that deprived him of too much power, right?
Yeah, and I don't know if this was just him going, you know what, I need to go with what I'm comfortable with, or what it was, but he's back to his old stance, and I'm kind of curious if on opening day he's going to go, you know what, I'm sticking with this, or if he's going to change it back. But either way, since he's gone back to his old stance, it's when he started crushing again. So, like, in spring training. So I'm hoping that he just kind of, you know how you get away from something for a little bit, and then you go back to something you're used to, and you're better at it because you missed it, and you know what it was good at.
You're talking about, like, relationship-wise?
Not necessarily, but sometimes other things. But maybe that's what it is for him. Maybe he just got away from it, and now he's back to it, and he's like, okay, here we go. So I'm saying 40-plus bombs for Adolis. And if that's the case, Kevin, again, this is one of the most dangerous lineup you'll see. Except for maybe Ohtani, whatever.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna go with the idea of except for the Dodgers and whatever category you want, probably except for the Dodgers, and all of that is fair. Now, CBS Sports went with Jacob deGrom will get Cy Young votes. It hasn't happened in 4 years.
Oh, he hasn't gotten a single vote in 4 years?
Correct.
How many games has he pitched in those 4 years?
36, probably.
Most of them were 3 years ago?
Yeah,
okay.
not a lot. 36 might be
It's just
high.
That's a little weak with the side. He'll get some Cy Young votes.
Okay.
Like, I want to get some bigger votes there.
So you prefer this from the 817. One of the Vandy boys wins Rookie of the Year.
Dude, okay. I'm very interested in this because Jack Leiter is going to get probably a month to prove it, right? He's going to get a month to say, hey, look, every 5 days, you're getting the baseball. You're going to go out there and pitch. You get to be a big leaguer. Why? Because you've done everything you possibly could do in AAA.
Yep.
You know, you were the pitcher of the year. You were all these things. You've done it all, so now you need to prove it at this level. Kevin, if that doesn't work out, they will, after this month, they'll say, all right, we gave you that shot. Now we were transition you to a bullpen pitcher, a relief pitcher of some sort.
Then the same thing, okay, maybe not the same thing. Do you think the same thing is in place for Kumar Rocker then? Because he has not done all of those things at the minor league level. Do you think he has a longer or a bigger room for mistakes than Ian Kinsler? Sorry, we have Ian Kinsler on the show tomorrow.
Yes.
Then Jack Leiter.
So Corbin is, they're going to give him about a month, right, before they start making that move.
I think April 11th is when they think he could be ready.
I'm not quite sure what their plan is going to be beyond that, but he needs a lot of experience. He just needs a lot of experience on the mound. Game situations in the big leagues, whenever certain things happen. Man, when you're pitching with that pitch clock, whenever you're trying to hold runners on. If you've watched him try to hold runners on during spring training, it has not been too successful.
Yeah.
And he's struggled with that a little bit. Yesterday, you did see him slide stepping a little more, so shortening his stride so that he could get quicker to the plate. So he has a lot to learn. Maybe they are like, look, we're just going to let you continue to learn because you have a little bit more stuff that we trust. Because on the mound yesterday with those 8 strikeouts, you felt pretty comfortable going, hey, dude, you're not going to give it up too much. So you're feeling good about what he can do. Maybe they'll just give him a little more time.
From the 254, deGrom plays the full season, 25 starts. Rangers go 91 and 71. From this 360, another person says 71 and 91. We'll probably get more into season predictions tomorrow, but from the 972, bold statement about this Rangers season. Go get Rangers.
Go get Rangers, baby.
From the 325, it looks like we might well lead the league in home runs and strikeouts offensively this year. And from the 214, the Rangers will hit 250-plus home runs as a team. Now, let's go back to 2023.
Okay.
Obviously, we love the power of that lineup. They had 233 home runs. So if you can tag another 17-plus home runs on that, this is going to be an offense to be feared. You're going to be having more than 1.5 home runs per game. Mm-hmm. That is terrifying.
And, that does take into account that during that championship run, Taveras was your main center fielder, right? And he wasn't popping a lot of home runs. Jonah Heim had a relatively good year, and last year was relatively mediocre compared to what he did before. So maybe you're hoping that Higgy has a little more pop and can provide that for you. But I think the additions of Peterson and Berger are the reason that people are feeling that confident. Because, look, man, as much as we love Nate Lowe, and, again, the defense that he played as he worked really hard defensively to become a good defender at first base, he didn't have amazing power, and he wasn't hitting fastballs well. Berger and Jock can do that, so I think they feel like there's a lot more slug, as Bochy was pointing out the other day, and fans can feel comfortable. If you do that, though, you're well on your way to being a feared lineup in the playoffs.
For the 469, I think the Rangers and Dodgers will be undefeated leading up to their series. Oh, man, that would be obviously.
Their series is coming up pretty soon, though, right?
Well, it'd still be pretty amazing. Yeah. From the 817, specific, the Rangers will lead the division wire to wire, specifically winning the AL West by 12 games. Obviously, that would be freaking amazing. I would love that. Alec, do you have a bold, specific prediction for the Texas Rangers this year?
I know we already talked about them a little bit, and I'm not going to go towards the award voting side of things. Something a little bit more specific for Jacob deGrom. You didn't say realistic. You said bold. Okay. I'm going with the idea that he will not need a single IL stint this year. He's going to ultimately take care of his body. He's bringing down the velo a little bit to protect the arm. It seems like everything is going his way. He's trying to get better at some of his other pitches as put-away pitches. Like he mentioned, the curveball is something he wants to work on. If he can lay off of the fastball a little bit to save himself, then why not throw out the idea that he doesn't need an IL stint and he's going to give you, maybe you skip a couple turns in the rotation to keep him fresh, but he won't need any kind of actual trip away from the roster. He's going to stick with the team the entire regular season.
Ooh, I like that.
Dude, if that's the case, this team's feeling pretty good. If you can ramp him up slowly and get him to get those innings, and he never has to fear about being injured through that, that'll be really nice. And if the bullpen is good enough to be able to conserve some of his wins without him having to go too deep in games, that would be wonderful too.
This is a fair point from the 214. Could y'all stop saying go get Rangers? Because It ruined last season,
It
and I'm
did not
just a
ruin
little
last season.
superstitious.
I am against that, Kevin, because I've thought about this multiple times too. That happened in the middle of the season. The season was already ruined by that point.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that was not a. It didn't ruin the season.
I gotcha.
It was. We were actually kind of trying to use it as a rallying cry. It just did not succeed. We can come up with something else. I'm sure Kevin can say something dumb to Boach at some point. We can use that.
I mean, probably.
But it'll be planned this time.
From the 817, man, if this happens, our offense is going to be unstoppable. Pilar will have 20 home runs and lead the league in extra base hits.
That is bold.
Unstoppable, if that is the case. From the 903, unfortunately, they think Leiter is going to get hurt from trying to throw 100 every pitch. One thing I will say about that, and that is a very valid concern, but I think part of the increase in his velocity, we talked about this, was they ramped him up differently than he has in years past.
Yeah.
And so I think that's part of the reason for the upgraded velocity right now.
And do you think that he's going to follow, before Mike took off, he was kind of discussing the Bartolo Colon ramp up too within a game.
Yeah.
Do you think that he's going to, do that a little more, or that adrenaline's going to kick in and he's going to just give in to instinct?
See, I think it's the second one. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I do too.
But from what we know about Jack Leiter as like a human and as a pitcher, I think he is going to be unbelievably amped up like in that first inning. And if it doesn't go perfectly, he's going to be amped up the next first inning that he starts, and on and on. And on.
Two things here, Kevin, from the 254. Bold prediction. Jake Ferguson comes out of nowhere to claim the closer role and leads the Rangers to another World Series title. I love it.
Okay.
Secondly,
that is very bold.
They are setting out hard hats out there. Do we need a hard hat to do the show today? Because I'm concerned now.
I think that's more for appearance. Because here are the things that you need for a construction groundbreaking. You need people, hard hats, and shovels. All right? And you want those shovels to all look uniform as with the hats, so everyone can pretend like they're going to dig in. And if that's not enough for you, Corey, we're going to have the owner on the show.
Oh, so we can ask him
probably
if there's
just
a boom
ask
boom
for a hard hat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we can ask for hard hats, and is there going to be fireworks today?
Would you be pumped if you got to leave here with like a ceremonial FC Dallas construction hard hat?
Yes. I would be so pumped, and I would wear it to work every day.
Okay.
You would be like, "Oh my gosh, Corey, you're still wearing that hat?" And I'd be like, "It's at this point, it's just attached like Joe Dirt's skullet."
From the 972, the Rangers will have the best record in Major League Baseball at the All-Star break. Whew. Now, we might save some of this till Rangers Price is Right if we do that tomorrow. Anthony Davis will be the best right fielder in Rangers history. Okay, that's bold.
Can you imagine? Okay, he didn't play last night. That's frustrating to me. But can you imagine him playing right field and a ball going to the wall? And he's just like, I got it. And he's like, he just trots over there and just sticks his arm up.
He's going to take it from some dude in the third row.
Can you go ahead and mark that,
No,
Alec?
not,
I don't know why.
I meant, shut up, Ruben. I meant take the baseball. I can see how that didn't work out.
And then he gets hurt.
From the 214, Luke Jackson has 41 saves. I know we talked a lot offensively, but if it's Luke Jackson or you think it's going to be Chris Martin, if one of those Rangers closers emerges with 40 saves, I think this team is going to be unfreaking believable if that happens.
Oh, yeah, because, dude, you didn't have to go out and spend a ton of money on a closer.
True.
As everybody was hoping that they would do, and they were like, well, we'll figure something out. And if that's the case, you're not having to use much of your prospects to go get another closer at midseason either.
Yeah, that's fair. And from the 940, we have 7 guys with 20-plus home runs. I like that opinion. That is definitely a bold opinion, and we talked about it earlier. Jim Bowden has 8 of the 9 Rangers players who are starting in the lineup getting to 10-plus home runs by the All-Star break. So that does feel like it could happen. And then from the 858, bold prediction, Boach continues his pattern of World Series, missing the playoffs, World Series. Here we go, boys.
Look, man, when you go 162-0 and you make it back to the World Series, is there anything more that you could ask for? Yeah, winning the World Series whenever you go 162-0.
Because if you go 162-0 and don't win the World Series, it will be the biggest collapse in the history of sports.
But would you hate it?
Yes,
why?
I would. Because
we'd
be the
only team.
We'd be the biggest collapse in the history of sports.
The only team that ever did it, though, all right? The only team to ever do it. Just because you lost doesn't mean it wasn't a great ride, Kevin. It's not about the destination.
Okay,
It's the
well, let's go
climb.
back and ask those Patriots fans, hey,
Oh,
which
that's a good-
season did you like better? The ones where you won the Super Bowl or the ones where you were undefeated until Eli Manning and his squad took you
And
down?
they'll go, oh, when we won the Super Bowl and got to go to the harbor.
And Duncan.